Portland's spring real estate market is winding up. What are the major trends that we're dealing with as we head into our summer market? Let's jump into the very latest numbers and see what we can find out. Hey everybody, RRMilligan here, bringing you the very latest in our local real estate stats and trends. The sample of homes that I'm working with, as always, is for the full Portland metro area, including Southwest Washington. If you are curious about how a specific area is faring, just drop me a line or post it in the comment section, and I promise to get back to you as soon as possible. This past week, the average sale price was on the rise. It was up by a whopping 7% compared to the previous week. If you've been keeping up with these videos, you've heard me say that in a typical year, our highest average sale price is usually some week in May or June. This is probably that week, with the average sale price coming in at almost $690,000. Looking at the broader picture, the average sale price for so far in June, we're working with a gain of only 0.8% compared to 2024. That's our year-over-year comparison, and that margin is down from 1.4%, the gain that we were tracking last week. So to sum it up, the margins between last year's and this year's average sale price are not that big, and they seem to be shrinking. So what's a possible reason for that? Well, I think it's because the supply of homes for buyers to choose from continues to rise. And we've continued to see more homes come to the for sale market each week than we were seeing last year at this time. And that's for about 9 weeks straight now. This last week, we saw 812 homes hit the market, and that's compared to 709 last year at this time. So what can we glean from this? Well, we can glean that seller activity continues to be high, creating more competition and more downward pressure on prices. So on to demand, the other side of the supply and demand equation. The number of new purchase agreements agreed to by buyers and sellers came in just shy of 700, which is a pretty good number. Last year at this time, that number was only about 650. As we head into our summer market, we should start to see the number of purchase agreements and the number of homes that come to the for sale market each week level off and then start to taper as we head deeper into our summer market. Buyer activity is still pretty steady, but it is being outpaced by this increased seller activity that we've been seeing. So where can we see the results of that? Well, we can see it in the number of price reductions that we see each week. This past week, just shy of 1,000 sellers reduced their asking prices. That's almost 1 out of every 8 sellers who did so. We haven't talked about bank-owned properties in a few weeks. The number of bank-owned properties on the market has started to very slowly creep up. This past week, there were 82 on the active market, which is 1 more than the previous high of 81 that we saw back in May. And that's up from the 51 foreclosed homes that we saw at the start of the year. It's a high for the year so far, but it's still a pretty small portion of the more than 11,700 active and under contract homes on the market right now. Now on to mortgage rates. The Fed left the Fed funds rate, or their interest rate, unchanged at their last meeting, but since then, a couple of Fed board members have voiced their opinion that there is a case to be made for a rate reduction in July. The Fed doesn't meet until July 29th and 30th, so we definitely have a long time to wait before we see what happens. And of course, a lot could happen before then. In the meantime, the yield on the 10-year Treasury has been moving down this week very slowly. We haven't yet seen that mortgage rates are following suit, which is what they usually do. On Thursday morning, I found the 30-year fixed mortgage advertised at 6.5% with 1 discount point, which is pretty much where we were about a week ago. However, based on what the market has been doing, I suspect that mortgage rates will be a hair lower as we head into the weekend. As always, I will check mortgage rates right after I post this video on Friday. And if what I suspect happens to be true and mortgage rates have improved a hair, I will post that in the comment section here. So to sum it up, supply continues to rise. Sale prices are still just barely in positive territory. Buyer demand is still holding on, and mortgage rates might be starting to move down. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for watching to the very end. I do appreciate it. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line or post something in the comment section. I will definitely follow up as soon as I can. For now, have a great weekend, and I will see you right here for our next update on the 4th of July.